Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Real Men of Real Estate. I am your host, Harrison Silverstein. We are continuing our discussion about making money and going to heaven with Jasmine Willois, the president of the No Assistance Program. Now, we've been talking about all these positives and, all the good news and how, we don't have to travel to our notes, our investments. But Jasmine, is this business exhausting? Like, what is the extent of the work? We're the bank now, so does that incur a lot of stress, or what can you give us some insight?
I mean, it definitely can be. You're going to find that there are a lot of ways to skin this cat, and one of the reasons that I felt there was enough space for me to create this program about 10 years ago was just that there are so many people out there trying to introduce entrepreneurs to this space, especially now. But one thing that's missing is that proprietary process that we have here, and that is really, really embracing the act of letting other people take care of this work for you, right? So one of the things that we really work hard here is delegation. That's one of the things that we work hard on doing is delegating our work to other people. So that's one of the things that you're going to find the hardest to do here. And I say that facetiously because at the end of the day, once you get in this business, you can figure out 1,000,001 things to do here. But this company was created by myself. Like I said, my son was 3 years old, so about 10 years ago. And so realistically, you're just walking into a program that was created by a mom who wanted to spend more time with their children and their family and taking care of them themselves and the self-care. So could it be difficult? Could it be hard? Yes, you can create any type of jobs. You can have, you could do your own foreclosure. I'm not sure if many of you know that or not, but you can go out. You don't have to be an attorney. You can go out and study and take care of your own foreclosure. And that's something we're going to strictly ask you not to do here because we like to delegate that stuff. So for us, no, it's not really time-consuming. I like to think that you can spend part-time or less than part-time doing this, and that's what I end up doing. And I love that we can delegate that to our attorneys, to our servicers, all those resources that you will need to have the boots on the ground. That's what we have with our community, and we have readily available for you when you buy your first note. And you've been a beneficiary of that, haven't you?
Absolutely. I've been definitely fortunate enough to, go through the whole process myself with the Note Assistance Program.
In your free time, what do you do in your free time? People do business with people they like.
Right.
Let's hear about that.
I know we do. We absolutely do. And one of the things I love to do is travel. Right. My significant other is born and raised in Australia. So, and actually all of 2021 I spent in Australia, and I was still growing my own note portfolio from Australia.
Yeah, I watched that. It was amazing.
Yeah, and it was the single year of it was the biggest growth that we've had since I've started note investing, and I think that's just what really I love about this is I get to go and choose who I want to work with. Right, I go to a lot of meetings with a lot of investors that are in all sorts of places in real estate, and I get to come to them and say, hey, well, we can do business together. Right, there's an opportunity for us to do business
together. Let's back
up
a minute, though. I mean, you get to go to people. Sound like you were stranded in Australia for a while. So while you weren't able to do stuff, were you still able to talk about that process? Because really, when we talk about being part-time and being present, you just mentioned that you were in Australia. Tell us about that experience. What were you doing out there?
Well, I was out there to, vacation, essentially, in a long-distance relationship. It's not easy, right? So we took the advantage of, I guess, when everybody's in the COVID lockdowns and travel was restricted. So definitely spent some time out there to explore. I love Australia. I recommend everyone go and visit.
So you go out to Australia and bam, your passport is taken away, or they say you can't come back?
No. We actually, there was a process. I mean, there weren't a lot of flights that were going to and from Australia, so it was a little bit of a process, but we made it. Passport was still good. I did have to quarantine. I think so. Actually, when my first note was closing, I was in a quarantine hotel in Sydney.
Okay.
On the phone with attorneys and notary, and I was just, hey, okay, let's get these documents signed and get everything funded correctly, get the title done, and in escrow and all that. So, I mean, when we talk about this is something you can truly do passively or remotely, like it really is. I was in quarantine.
This is what I want the audience to hear, right? I want them to hear what happens in the trenches, right?
Right.
You literally have stumbled upon a business, especially at this stage in your life, where you can be en route to vacationing. you can get quarantined while en route and still not miss a beat in your business nor a dollar of your profit. So that's what excited to me. So I started off how long were you there?
That was 2 weeks in quarantine. Oh, for Australia,
In Australia
as a
in
whole?
total.
Oh, I was there for 11 months, so pretty much the whole
So that was
year.
the beginning of an 11-month journey, which sounded like you didn't start off and plan it to be 11 months. So how was that? Imagine going to Australia and then thinking you have to get back to life and work, and then you realize, oh no, I'm a note investor.
Yeah, I mean, at the onset of the trip, a lot of what was on my mind was, oh dang, like what am I gonna do? I got all this stuff I need to take care of. But
Right.
then as I slowly started going through, okay, well, let's just take a breath. We have a way that I have my portfolio organized with a lot of help from my girlfriend. I'm not really an organized person myself. I try to be, but she's way better at it.
Gotcha.
And we're take a look at it, and we just took it one asset at a time and said, okay, well, this is in a good spot. This doesn't require any immediate attention. Anything that did need immediate attention, it really wasn't work for us. I mean, even with the foreclosure processes or any kind of legal action that we needed to take, it wasn't really work for me. It was work for the attorney.
Because you delegated, right?
You delegated it.
From Australia.
From Australia.
All right, and then you also took place in some money-raising activities, right? So you were able to buy more notes while you were out there?
Absolutely. We're still doing joint venture partnership, deals, finding OPM. We were talking about retirement accounts.
Yes.
About 80% of our community invests with their retirement accounts. And, we have a motto for that as well: let no retirement account go unfunded.
Amen.
Right? So, and this is something that I try to preach to some of my own friends and family. We can beat your company's, your main
The
9-to-5 matching, just with one note, right? I mean, we're quite spoiled as note investors with the returns that we see.
But it was a great chance for you to, in my opinion, because I actually got to watch this, right? So as the president of the program, you never know who's going to jump out and shine, especially when thrown into adversity. So I love the way that I saw you react to this. And just take a couple deep breaths and realize that you're in control of things, right? You are a bank, be it as small as you are. Those profit returns can really, really do justice to what your current needs are, right? And so watching you take this risk, excuse me, buy a torn, and really use notes, first position mortgage notes, to any of those concerns really made me proud. And what I watched you guys do was start building income, and also strategic relationships during a time when everyone was told that they couldn't do anything. So what was that like for you as far as raising money for notes? Because this is a particularly, one, obscure investment, so
Right.
telling people about something they haven't heard of, and then two, the returns, almost too good to believe. So how'd you close those deals?
I mean, our mindset had to shift along the way, right? On the onset, we weren't really looking at generating cash flow. We really just wanted to grow our investment capital. But slowly, as the pandemic came on, and I took both feet and I jumped right into notes after the pandemic. W-2, bye-bye. So
you got two choices at that point. You either
exactly
get down on yourself and depressed, or you start being a man of action. So I
right.
really
And
was
you know
impressed.
what? I took the leap. I jumped right in, and I said, you know what? This process works. We know it works. So
Yeah,
let's
it is.
just do it. Let's make our future right now. And ultimately, when I am going out, and especially in Australia, it's quite a bizarre industry. They don't have the same opportunities we do
Right.
here. So when I was talking to a lot of Australians about it, they don't have a secondary mortgage market where they can buy and sell mortgages. So it was a profound kind of idea that an individual can own someone else's mortgage.
Right.
But even then, like most of my OPM, here in the United States is just straight up, like I just come to them with the math. And that's what I love about this. I don't have to go on any amazing sales pitch or,
Right.
make them believe that this
And
unicorn
long-winded stories.
yeah,
right?
it was quite simple because I could show them the math. This is what we can buy it for, which is to give you guys the quick synopsis of our advantage, the price we can get it for, right? We're buying these for the value of the loan that's left over for a percentage discount. And then we look at the value of the property itself. and then boom, right there. Simple math, that's your spread.
Right, and so what we've done is, as I mentioned, and the main purpose of me creating this program was that I know that there are so many different people with different backgrounds. You don't have to have a degree in economics to get this done. You don't have to be, a magna cum laude in math or graduate from your school, Stanford graduate, right? And although, many of those qualities you may find in myself and the people that I work with here, there are also people who have strengths in other things like being creative, right? And so this is still an opportunity for you to get involved. And what we do is we put all this stuff into, I like to say we like to write in crayon, right? And so we put all this stuff into some very layman's term, very basic spreadsheets, right, with some remedial math that you can understand and help you articulate the opportunity. Many of you are thinking to yourself, well, do I have to be a great salesman to get this done? Really, no, if you follow our simple 5-step process that we put together, right? It's taken people from backgrounds of the military background, people with a background, scientific background, engineers, right? These guys who are, for whatever it's worth, more or less intimidated to be out there talking to people, right? We have put something in front of you that realistically, if someone doesn't understand what you are showing them, then it is time to move on to that next person, right? So it's not anything that you want to shove down anyone's throat. It's an opportunity that once you see it, and if you're listening to this radio show, you cannot sleep at night. You're going, wait, are you telling me I can buy someone's mortgage? And this is an opportunity that you might want to explore further, right? So we go across and we teach 4 times a year so that we can educate everyone who has the capacity, right, to listen to it. It's fairly dry subject, right? I'm not talking about any Top Gun stuff out there flying aircraft, but
it is paperwork.
This is going to allow you to do that stuff, and this is what I want to find out more about, the hobbies that you indulge in. So myself, I can tell you, the investing has allowed me to spend more time at the beach, right? I love spending time at the beach. That's why I live in Southern California. Spend time with my son. Unless I'm out of town, I am the one that's picking him up from school, and that is one of the main reasons I'm doing this, right? So it is your why. If you sit back and you're thinking about your why, this may be an opportunity for you to give us a call. What is it that you do when you spare time?
Well, in my spare time, I do a lot of, I'm a computer guy. I'm the tech go-to for, I know a lot of what we do, but I have a passion in video editing, and
nice.
I have a lot of different things that, I love aviation. That's probably, if I was gonna complete school, that was gonna be the way I went. I think one of my first career paths was, I'll go to air traffic control or something.
That's
like that.
beautiful, right?
Yeah. So, and and anything that I want to do, especially in, I want to pursue that. Aviation is not a cheap hobby to have.
Speak
right?
on it, right?
And you know what? I just said, let's just, I'm going to make this portfolio right here. This is going to be the aviation fund.
Right.
Right.
Help you support your hobby.
Exactly.
Right.
So, everything that I want to do nowadays, I just put that in the terms of, you know what? I'm going to get a note for that.
Yes.
I'm going to get that passive return that
there
will
used to
just
be an
pay
app
for
for everything, but now if you come into our world, there's an app for everything. There's
Absolutely.
a note for everything. Excuse me, but yeah, that's a great way to kind of wrap things up here. Is just kind of let you know this is really a mindset game, right? Wherever you are right now, believe it or not, you can make that pivotal switch within your head, and this is a community that's here to help you do that.
Absolutely. And if you like what you're hearing, guys, you can give us a call at 855-541-6683 or email invest@noteassistanceprogram.com.